Trivandrum got the highest footfall in the entire India. That's an example for that. From my hotel or from my home, it takes hardly 20 minutes for me to reach the Kovalam beach. It is not only from my home, anywhere from in and around if you're talking about it. So that's the best part of Trivandrum city. For the past 3 years, the consecutive years, we are awarded as the world's #1 best place to work for. Perfect. And Hilton is always waiting for you to give you the great hospitality.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Aspire Stories of Innovation. Today we are joined by Mr. Bharathi Perumal. He is the General Manager of Hilton Garden Inn in Trivandrum. Mr. Bharathi brings in with him a wealth of experience from leading global hospitality brands. His career spans renowned names including IHG, Marriott International, Radisson, EHG Bahrain, Silver Sea Cruises USA, and one and only. At Hilton Garden Inn, Trivandrum, he focuses on building strong teams, delivering exceptional guest experiences, and positioning the hotel as a key part of Trivandrum's growing business and technology ecosystem. Welcome to the show, Mr. Bharathi.
Thank you, Ajay. Pleasure meeting you.
So I'll start with the questions that we have. So the first thing that I want to ask is, this is your first stint in Trivandrum, right? And as the GM of the Hotel Hilton Garden, what stood out to you most important about this city when you arrived?
So of course, first of all, on behalf of our entire team, I would like to thank the Technopark and of course the Aspire session and as well as to you, Ajay. And thanks a lot for this wonderful opportunity. I'm glad and happy to be a part of it and representing our hotel and brand. And if I'm talking about my own, the kind of a stint with Trivandrum, yes, probably it's my first time, but I'm not new to Kerala.
Okay.
I lived in Kerala for a good 5 years out of 23 years of my career. Okay. Then I've been to Bahrain and I came back. Again, I started my career again back with Kerala in IIG, with IIG at Crown Plaza, Kochi. As a head of operations. I was there for a good 3 years. Then I've been to Chennai. So I know the people, I know the land, I know the culture. I feel like Kerala is always my second home. So that's the best part of it. And if I'm talking about Trivandrum specifically, and of course, when the opportunity came to me and when I got it from Hilton, and I thought why not? That's a great opportunity for me to, to get into it. And it's very much about if I'm talking about the Trivandrum, it's very much about it's a tradition. Which is along blends with the modernity. That's a kind of a thing. That's the first thing which comes to me as a first thing. Then at the same time, I would like to mention that it's a great people, the warm and as well as welcoming people, clean and beautifully laid city, which actually gives that kind of a healthy work environment and as well as a family lifestyle. So I thought of that will be the first one for me to take it up for Trivandrum.
Okay. So with your extensive experience in this particular domain, like managing premium hospitality properties, what drew you to Trivandrum and how have you seen Hilton Garden Inn evolve alongside the city's growth?
The main thing, if I'm talking about the first thing, what drew for me over here is actually it's a knowledge and technology hub. The way how the expansion of all these things, especially with your Technopark, if I'm talking about it, how it's getting extended and how the business growth of the city, how it's happening. And of course, without any doubts, that's really inviting the business and as well as the leisure travelers. That's the first thing. At the same time, if I'm talking about our hotel, how it evolves actually. So the Hilton Garden Inn is the first international hotel, a 5-star hotel, which got opened in Trivandrum city in the year 2013.
Okay.
And it has completed 12 years now, and it's keep evolving in various aspects and parameters. And we are known for our guest service standards and as well as the unique hospitality experiences, known for our dining and as well as the state-of-art business setups. And we are making sure the hotel is actually keep providing the great experience to every one of our guests.
So when it comes to Technopark professionals, Technopark professionals, we often work extended hours with global clients. How does Hilton Garden Inn functions as a second office for meetings, client engagements, and after our networking?
So we knew it very well. Every person has always most tiring work schedules, right?
True.
Especially while we are talking about IT professionals. Without any doubts, we know that very well. Each individual have their own kind of the pressure to handle it. So if you're talking about our hotel, as I have mentioned earlier, we are actually specially designed for the corporate events. We are known for corporate events. We have conducted various events all over the city, especially with all the companies who is in Technopark. We have conducted the massive events with them, and also our state-of-art banquet venues and business centers or a compact meeting rooms. If I'm talking about it, that always give that kind of professional meetings as well as informal brainstorming sessions. Both can be conducted easily at our hotel. And also we do have a dining facilities, which is like a Hilton Garden in Trivandrum has a garden grill restaurant. Right. Along with that, we have a lounge bar that gives you the comfort and zone with our pool deck, and which is like, in and around our hotel, and that always create that kind of a space for every IT professional as a second home.
And we talked about IT. Now, beyond IT, Trivandrum is emerging as a hospitality investment hotspot. How do premium properties like yours complement Technopark's rapid expansion and attract co-developers and investors?
Well, not only Hilton Garden in Trivandrum. If I'm talking about any premium hotel, that the purpose of the hotel is actually it supports the ecosystem of the business, especially when it's related to the city's expansions. Of course, the city will be having its own demands. It could be a corporate demand, or it could be a leisure demand, or whoever it is. Like, when the city is getting expanded, what the people look into it is, when they get into the city, they look for the premium accommodations.
Absolutely.
They look for a better dining venues. Yes. And they always look for the better kind of an environment which is safe and secure. And without any doubts, every hotel and the premium hotels always, it supports the ecosystem of the business, especially which is the cities which is in expansion. And that helps us, as well as the city, as well as the investors, to make sure there is always a big potential available for the investment.
Trivandrum uniquely blends access, cultural richness, and urban efficiency. How does these factors make it an attractive, make it attractive for expats and relocated GCC talents seeking true work-life balance? When you talk about the access, the airport and everything is close by. So, yeah, what's your take on that?
Well, it's a most interesting question because I'm with my family living over here in Trivandrum, and I have to move them from Chennai to Trivandrum. Why? Because of course, the way how the lifestyle is planned over here. That's the best part of Trivandrum. It could be anything if you're talking about it. Like for example, if you're living in one of the metropolitan city, and if you want to take your family for somewhere out, to make sure, like, it could be in weekend, or it could be in kind of any kind of a small kind of day outing, let's say, or talk about it, where you have to travel nothing less than a couple of hours, I could say. True. But from my hotel or from my home, it takes hardly 20 minutes for me to reach the Kovalam beach. True. It is not only from my home, anywhere from in and around if you're talking about it. Correct. So that's the best part of Trivandrum city, because it gives that lifestyle to you to make sure you are having the most comfortable work-life balance, secured work environment, and as well as a family life environment. And that gives that immense pleasure to everyone, because if you're talking about the city, it has a great culture. It has a great heritage. True. Both together, if I'm talking about it, every week I could see some festival is happening somewhere. True. Yeah. And also, it has that kind of most leisure things, if I'm talking about it. Let it be the backwaters, or let it be the harbors, or let it be the beaches. It's beautiful.
Hills.
Exactly. Very much. Ponmudi Hills. If you're talking about it, everything is just an hour away maximum. And that gives a great work environment for everybody. And also, it gives that kind of a pleasure for us to be with family and to get settled down.
So what after work experiences at Hilton, whether dining, wellness, or curated events, help professionals unwind and while reinforcing Kerala's live, work, play positioning? Everybody
knows that. Well, I would like to remind that again to everyone. If I'm talking about Hilton Garden in Trivandrum, we are known for the best F&B experience, without any doubts. So, an example, I'm talking about the past 3 months. Okay, the month of November, we have organized a Korean food festival, which is like, the pathway to Korea. And in the month of December, we have conducted various activities which is related to the Christmas and New Year.
Obviously, yes.
And the Grand New Year celebration we have organized, which is one of the biggest hit in the city. Okay. And then followed by last month, in the month of Jan, if I'm talking about it, we have organized the Fort Kochi Fest. Okay. So we brought the Fort Kochi to Trivandrum. Yes, that's a kind of a concept. Yes. So in that concept, if I'm talking about it, of course, the region of Fort Kochi, the entire food. So we got the chef Priya from Fort Kochi who came and actually who cooked the food for us and who really cherished the wonderful flavors of Kerala along with the Fort Kochi flavors. And that kind of an experience, it's always happens with our hotel. And we never fail to impress our the guest needs. That's the main thing if we're talking about it. It is not only with the F&B experience. If I'm talking about the healthy the lifestyle, if we are talking about it, we do have a beautiful pool as well as we do have a gym at our hotel, and that gives that kind of a pleasure to every guest, whoever the business traveler or a leisure traveler. They always have the great unique F&B dining as well as a stay experience at our hotel.
And with the about the access part that we mentioned earlier, the international airport we have, right? The Trivandrum International Airport upgrades and Vizhinjam Port coming up nearby. How do you see Trivandrum positions itself for MICE, tourism and global conferences that supports Technopark's international business ambitions?
So the MICE tourism always plays the major role for every major city, if I'm talking about any metropolitan city, if you're talking about it, because that actually draws a lot of the international and as well as national travelers towards the city. And when this kind of a MICE segment happening in Kerala, according to my understanding, till a couple of years back, if I'm talking about it, mainly the MICE segment related events are always happening in Kochi.
Okay.
Now, but if you started seeing the trend, it started merging slowly towards Trivandrum.
Yeah.
That's the best part of Trivandrum, as well as the way how the MICE travel is actually moving around. Having the great connectivity and as well as upgrading airport with the port facilities, if I'm talking about it, without any doubts, it's going to create an easy access to every guest, especially the national and international travelers. They can reach out over here quickly, and the hotel like Hilton, we are ready for you to serve. And of course, that will be the great benefit for the city and as well as for the entire environment.
Another thing I want to add is like we have heard of this brain drain, like people go
Exactly.
from here. Now the reverse is started happening. Like
Now it's brain gain.
It's brain gain.
Exactly.
It's gaining momentum also. How do family-friendly amenities, local sourcing, and service culture at Hilton help retain top talent? And in the long run, how it's going to help it?
I would like to precisely mention a point over here. The best part of our company is for the past 3 years, the consecutive years, we are awarded as the world's #1 best place to work for.
Oh, perfect.
And also in 18 different countries, it's awarded as a #1 company to work for.
Okay.
So Hilton is known for taking care of their own employees and as well as making sure that creating the best work-life balanced work environment.
Yes.
Along with that, if I'm talking about it, we always focus more on the ecosystem, which is like, how to support the communities, how to support the society, and how to bring the best out of everything, and to make sure we are supporting the locals. That's a being point of Hilton. So anyone, if I'm talking about as in being traveler who is actually, or like the person who is from GCC or any expat who would like to come back and to get settled down in the same way you have talking about the brain gain.
Yeah.
And of course, we are one of the topmost best companies who is ready for to accommodate and to to make sure they are getting the great work environment, as well as any travelers. If I'm talking about it, we are always providing the great local experience to make sure, and they are having that complete feel of the city, and they are having the great momentum at our hotel.
So looking ahead, 2026 and beyond, especially with GCC growth and upcoming expansion, what hospitality developments do you foresee supporting Trivandrum's next wave of employment and growth?
So, in my point of view, I could say it's the great part is the integrated hospitality. It blends actually the integrated hospitality. It blends with the business as well as the leisure travels both together.
Okay.
Why? Because the demand is there, which is very much growing, and it's very much actually blended together and coming up in a better way. So the latest the news is what we are in the news channels and various other things which became viral. Trivandrum got the highest footfall in the entire India.
Yeah.
The latest news which came in. That's an example for that.
Correct.
So without any doubts, I could oversee the 2026 and even upcoming years. It's going to be the most grand and successful year for all of us, especially for Trivandrum city.
And finally, for a global CXO or an investor, tuning in today, what is your one key takeaway on why Trivandrum's hospitality ecosystem, anchored by brands like Hilton, makes it an unbeatable destination right now?
every company, before they are actually get into the business in any cities, they always do the feasibility studies.
Yes.
And they come up with that ideology of okay, fine, is it going to work out or not, or it is going to be the right investment with the right people and having the right operations, and how the future is going to be. That's what the way how everybody look into it, right? Yeah. So if you're talking about Trivandrum, 12 years back already Hilton came in over here.
Yes.
I'm sure we do have a great vision for the city. And as well as, if we are really talking about Hilton and as well as Trivandrum, if I'm talking about it, the first most important thing, if you're talking about the business ecosystem, and then followed by the support in the city, how much it's actually getting the travelers who is actually, it could be a business traveler or a leisure traveler, and how the city's growth and travel development which is actually upcoming. And the third most important thing, if I'm talking about the existing environment, how the ecosystem supports all these things together. So these are the things actually which gives us a great confidence.
Okay.
And it is not only for us, and it's going to be the great takeaway for every investor, to make sure they are having a great investment with the expansion of Vizhinjam Port, or international airport, or if you're talking about your expansion of IT park, which is getting into even from Kollam phase 3, phase 4, it's keep growing. So there is no end to it. So it's, of course, it's a right time for everyone to make sure they are turning towards Trivandrum and getting in over here.
Perfect.
And Hilton is always waiting for you to give you the great hospitality.
So with that note, I think it's perfect to conclude this episode. It's very nice talking to you, Mr. Bharathi Perumal.
Pleasure talking to you, Mr. Jai. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. And on behalf of our entire team, again, my sincere thanks to all of you, and we look forward.
Perfect. So
Thanks
that's another episode of Technopark's podcast, As Per Stories of Innovation. Thank you so much for tuning in.